Welcome to Confessions of Being Fabulous, where we live, we learn, we grow. So one of the things I have had to come to terms with, just temporarily, it won't be forever. YouTube is all about authenticity. It's supposed to be anyway. It's all about authenticity. And the people that I know really resonate with me on YouTube are those that I can just sense and feel are being their authentic selves. So as I've been slowly creating this channel, I'll admit sometimes feel like I'm just throwing you know what at the wall. I gave myself grace and allowed myself to do that for a season to kind of figure out where I want to be messaging wise so that I can actually help people. You know that's what this is all about, right? We're supposed to be helping people when we establish these channels, so I'm no different. But there's a lot that I could talk about, and then I feel like there's what I should talk about, my God-given, message, if you will. And I'll admit, I'm still kind of like getting that to a place where it even makes sense to me so that I can properly communicate it. So that's, I think, the reason why I've been slow to like officially even release the fact that I exist. Because a lot of what I feel like I've said, on the one hand, it's been helpful, I believe, and will help someone. But then on the other hand, sometimes it feels like I'm just like, talking, like just blabbing off at the mouth. So anyway, I said all that to say, I am also allowing myself grace though, as it pertains to what I look like and how I'm showing up and, background and all of that. Because these are things I would totally want to have a level of like actual creativity and all of that, how my hair is, what I'm wearing. But y'all just caught me in a season where life is so busy. And so unfortunately I think this is the 116th video. These first 100 or so videos, I've hung in there, I've kept going, but it's been difficult just, because of everything that's happening in life. So I apologize if when I show up, if I'm showing up with what appears to be lackluster energy. It's not that I mean to be that way. It's that I am trying my hardest to not give up on this channel. And so you just gonna have to deal with it. Not that I look crazy, but I just feel like, it's just not how I would want to show up for Confessions of Being Fabulous. Not feeling so fabulous today. Or most days that I post. But, this is me having an honest moment. So I don't even know who's going to see this. But I just felt like I wanted to post this because... What you looking at? My son is in the shower and I happen to look in the bathroom and he's like peeking at me through the shower door. Anyway. I want to have this authentic moment, it's about being authentic, so this is a real thing. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, I wonder how many other mothers are exhausted and they don't feel like posting, but they do it anyway. And how many other, entrepreneurs are tired and they don't feel like it, but they do it anyway. And how many other people who are maybe taking care of elderly parents don't feel like posting, but they do it anyway. And how many people have husbands or wives and they don't feel like posting, but they do it anyway. So this post is all about me doing it anyway. And the lesson in and of itself, there is no topic. I usually say, welcome to Confessions of Being Fabulous. Today I'm going to talk about, I don't have that for you. This is the lesson. The lesson is to do it anyway. Because the moment we decide that we are more important than the audience we're supposed to help is the moment of our destruction, is the moment of our demise. And frankly, is the unfortunate moment that now our audience has to suffer because we've decided to put how we look and how we feel and how we're showing up, and maybe our space isn't exactly how we want it to be just yet for public consumption. Mine certainly is not. I literally got, I moved here about a year ago, and I literally feel like I didn't get fully moved in until, if I'm being honest, maybe like 4 months ago. I might even be making that up, maybe like 3 months ago. And even still, you know, I got these 2 pictures up here, or artwork up there. All of that is there, you know, so maybe I'm OD overthinking it. I don't know. But I feel like we all have this way that we want to like show up. And there is a time and a place for that. So I'm not saying that we should let go of those desires, because how you show up does matter. But I also believe, especially in the beginning of something, there's something to be said about doing it anyway. I don't look how I'm supposed to look, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm not, you know, quite set up the way that I would want to be if I was going to present myself to the universe, to the world, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I want to encourage you all to do it anyway. With that, in about a video or 2 or 3, I'm going to actually release a small mini series, a small playlist on how to run your first marathon. So I have run 2 marathons at this point in my life. I ran my first one in 2009, and I ran my second one in 2021, the New York City Marathon, both times. And the reason I did that is because in 2009 in particular, the first one, because I was struggling, you know, in the concrete jungle to figure this thing out called life. I was a new attorney, you know, I was trying to just make my mark on the world. And New York is hard, as I'm sure by now you know. You've heard a lot of people talk about it. You yourself have experienced it. And I needed something that would serve as like a forever reminder of what I'm capable of. Because maybe some people don't have like that grit or that, you know, stick with it-ness or that perseverance. But I was like, no, actually you have all of those things, Priscilya. So you just need a reminder to like look back on at later dates, like, oh right, you did that. That's who you are. So the marathon was meant to be that like physical reminder. So when I did it in 2009 for the first time, I did it. I did successfully complete it. I completed it in like 5 hours and some change. I don't remember exactly how much now, but I know when I did it again in 2021, that was probably even more special and important to me because 1, I was 12 years older, and then 2, I think my time was better by like, was it 20 something minutes, which is a big deal when it comes to running, like to improve your time by 20 minutes in a marathon, and I was 12 years older. Honey, what? I was very proud of myself. So that was a reminder, you know, in 2021. But when I did it the second time in 2021, that was all about, again, me showing up and just doing it. I needed a reminder of what's possible when I decide to just go for it. Now, mind you, I'm not saying just do it in terms of a marathon, meaning you show up the day of and for the first time ever, you're running 26.2 miles. You got to prepare for that. But same with these videos. I have to prepare for these videos. And part of what I'm going through is that I'm not adequately prepared. So by the time I get here, it's late at night, not super late just yet, but I've had a long, full day. And now here I am. And because there's not necessarily, you know, a content plan that I planned a month ago, I'm having to think of something on the fly. All of that contributes to the tiredness. All of that contributes to, you know, not showing up the way that I want to show up. All of that contributes to maybe not setting the mood the way that I would want to be set. All of that contributes to even, you know, like, let's finally get your space together, Priscilya, the way that you want it to be. But the marathon, I wanted to do it, 1, because that same principle would be at hand where I'm just doing it. But there's another principle that comes into play after some time of just doing it. And the principle has to do with preparation. As you start to prepare, you're going to find yourself in a place of things seeming a little bit easier. And it's not even so much, if we talk about a marathon, for example, it's not easy having to go from, oh, I haven't run since however long it had been since I ran, to now, oh, I'm about to do my first, long miler. I think the first long miler for me in 2021 was probably like 5 miles or something. That was like 26.2 because it had just been so long since I ran. Frankly, even the short runs when I first ran 1 mile, where I had to run 12 minutes, like all of that was tough. But anyway, all of that to say, when you start to prepare, it becomes easier to actually follow through because you don't have to think. You don't have to decide. You don't have to contemplate. You don't have to say like, well, should I do this many miles today or should I do this? Like all of that is energy being expended. And because I now realize that I don't have energy like that to just be expending on stupid stuff or stuff that's a waste of time, I want to be as efficient as possible. So part of what the marathon represented for me also was not just telling myself, okay, Priscilya, you're the type of person that goes for it. You're the type of person that will just do it. But I also wanted to be able to look back and tell myself, you're also the type of person, Priscilya, that prepares. Because in order to run a marathon, you can't just show up the day of and expect to finish. Now, if you know somebody that's done that, please let me talk to them and interview them because I need all of the secrets. But the average person is going to need to prepare. And both times, in 2009 and then in 2021, I was put in that position to have to prepare. I had, did I have a coach both times? No. I had first time I did everything alone. Second time I did have, not a running coach, but I had a coach for like my strength training exercises. I had a book that I followed and it told me the exact runs to do. I had like some pre-marathon training that I got just to like get my body used to running again. Because remember, 2021, we were still kind of in the pandemic, or I guess coming out of it, depending on who you talk to. Definitely still wearing the mask. So I know for me during the pandemic, I was on the couch a lot with my ice cream and glass of wine. So my body needed to like do something. And it was a long time coming. It's just been a minute. So I needed to learn. I needed to not learn, but I needed to have a physical representation of what it felt like to prepare for something again. And not that I had never prepared for anything in the past. I prepared for other things, but I needed something current. I needed something recent, and the marathon was what I chose. So anyway, I'm going to end this video, but I wanted to just share with you on today. One, if you're in a space where you're not doing it, then maybe the lesson for you today is just do it. Don't worry about what you look like. Don't worry about if you're not showing up the way that you want to show up. You'll get there. Just do it. And then two, the second lesson is after you've had some time where you're just doing it, okay, now let's be a bit more intentional about showing up the way we want to show up. And how do we do that? Preparation. Let's prepare the outfit we want to actually have on. Let's prepare the space the way we want it to be. Let's prepare whatever you feel is necessary so that you can communicate most effectively to your audience. Because that's what it's really all about. The aesthetic that is chosen in videos, the speed with which someone speaks, all of that is to benefit you. It's to benefit the audience. It's not, it has to do with the person's way of showing up as well, but it's also, we're all like entertaining, we're all putting on a show, whether we see it that way or not. And it doesn't matter if you're an actual entertainer or if you're, an accountant who happens to have a YouTube channel. This is like TV. So we're here to put on a show. And so when you think about it, you're not going to turn on the TV and just see something raw, untouched. Even reality TV, a lot of people joke about that, like, oh, it's not really reality because there's a level of preparation. So this is the same thing. Just do it. That's the first rule. But then the second rule that comes after you make yourself, get into the habit of just doing it is prepare. All right? When you prepare, then you have a lot more say-so over all of the elements and the circumstances in which you want those to look like, and how you want to show up in the world. Alrighty? I wish you lots of fun. laughter, abundance in your life. Peace.